Jack in the Box comedy competition, the fourth week. How many of y'all came out with Christmas sockets? Make some noise. How many of y'all came to support Kat Rabarski? Make some noise. And how many of y'all came out to support Ethan Peldo? Make some noise. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all looking real good. I am so jealous of you right now. Do you know why I'm jealous of you? First of all, because you have beautiful shiny hair that's coming out of your roots. And second of all, because you can fit so comfortably in that chair and cross your legs. Girl, give it up for yourself. Oh my gosh, everybody's looking good tonight. I'm so excited tonight. I got my best friend here from North Carolina. Make some noise. Clap it up for Crystal. First time in Chicago. And she loved it. How many of y'all are transplants? You from somewhere else? Oh my gosh, look at y'all. That's what I'm talking about. Where y'all from? Where you from? Where you from? England. Great Scott, are you a thief? Looks like you've got some that full of gold teeth. Where y'all from? Where you from? Pakistan? Oh. You from Scotland? Oh, stand up, stand up. You all laid back and shit like you at home. Sit up. You are too comfortable. I'm sorry, you're not from Pakistan. You just got a nice dark tan there. I didn't know the Scotland people were that dark. Southern Scotland. Oh, that's where the darker people are in the south, huh? Okay, that's what's up. Where y'all from over here?
One more time for your host. Cool. How are you guys? Cool. Yeah, well, my name is Ethan, and I go to school right now. I have a lot of early classes, and I have trouble waking up early. I bought this really nice alarm clock. The guy at the store was like, this alarm clock is going to be the best alarm clock you will ever have. And I was like, I don't know about that, because the last alarm clock I had was my mom. Yeah, that alarm clock made me breakfast and believed in me. I don't know, I'm an English major. I don't take school very seriously. My parents still worry, like the other day my dad was like, you know, Ethan, the way the world is right now, I just don't know what you're going to do with an English degree. I was like, Dad, you know what? You don't have to worry about it. I don't think I'm going to graduate. We should be thinking about what I'm going to do without an English degree. I don't know. I was never a very good student, though. Like, I remember when I was young, my dad was like, Ethan, what do you think would happen if you actually applied yourself? I was like, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation while I was playing Xbox. He was like, I am disappointed in your decisions. I was like, I know. I should have reloaded before I turned that corner. He was like, you're acting like a child. I was like, really? Because this game is ready to mature. So, I don't know. Well, one of my first classes in college, we were supposed to go around the room, everyone say their biggest accomplishment. It was like a getting to know you thing. And the girl next to me, she was like my age, and she goes, well, I have to say my biggest accomplishment would have to be giving birth to my 1-year-old son. He is the light of my life. And everyone was like, oh, that's so nice. But then it was my turn. And everyone was like, yeah, what's your biggest accomplishment? And I was like, not having a 1-year-old son. That's like top 5, at least. I don't know, like, my parents were divorced when I was growing up, and it was weird, because, like, when I got a little older, people would ask me about it. Like, I remember once when I was in high school, this guy was like, oh, dude, your parents are divorced. That's sick. That means you, like, double the presents at Christmas, right? I was like, you are not a very good guidance counselor. My mom had stuff she would say, too, like, when they first split up. Like, one time, she was like, Ethan, your dad's moving out of the house today. How's that make you feel? How's that make you feel? And I was like, jealous. I don't want to live here either. I played basketball when I was growing up, and you can't tell by looking at me, but I was not good at basketball. I played for 2 years. I was a bench warmer both years, and if you don't know what that means you only play when your team is ahead by a lot for the last 30 seconds. And then you're supposed to feel like you contributed to the win, which doesn't make sense. Like that's like if a house was on fire and then 5 guys spent hours putting out the fire, but then I ran up in the last 30 seconds with a Dixie cup full of water and was like, I'm a firefighter. I'm not a firefighter. I don't play sports. I watch a lot of TV. I like the show Intervention. You guys like the show? Yeah. Intervention? Yeah. All right. Some of us more than others. I don't know. I like that show, but like you'll back me up on this. I feel like it's like the same thing every time, you know? Like the guy's always addicted to like meth or like crack, you know? It's boring. I think they should switch it up. And I have the perfect episode of Intervention for them to do. The person getting the intervention is addicted to surprise parties. Because that would be the most confusing intervention ever. He would have no idea what was going on. Walk in and see his whole family. What are you guys doing? Oh, no way! And I'd be like, no, we think you need help. He'd be like, I am gonna need help. Opening all my presents. That's what would happen. And then 4 hours of crying. I don't know. I go to school, I talk to girls sometimes at school, and a lot of times when I do that, I find that they play hard to get, you know? Like they'll be like, you know, I'm not looking for anything right now, or like, you're really not my type, or like, how'd you get into my house, you know? I don't appreciate it. I was dating this girl for a while, and we had to break up, because like, it just turned out we had different interests, you know? Like I really like going to the beach, and she like dating other guys. We did her thing. I had a weird moment. I was driving on the expressway like a few weeks ago, and I saw one of those signs. It's like, hit a worker, $10,000. Yeah. I thought the whole thing was like a game. By the time I figured it out, I already set the high score. So. I had something weird happen a few months ago. I got a call from this guy who worked at the United States Army. And he started giving me his pitch right away. He was like, Ethan, the Army is a wonderful opportunity for you to learn about who you are. I'd be like, no, you don't understand. I already know I'm a huge pussy. I don't need sand in my eyes to remind me. I think me being in the Army would be like a baby playing in the NFL. Everyone would just be like, he shouldn't be here. Why won't he stop crying? I am looking for a job though. It's not going very well. I think it's because my resume. Like I do not have a strong resume. People see it, they always say the same things. They're like, this guy's not qualified. They're like, this guy has no experience. They're like, this is just a picture of him doing karate. Alright, my name's Ethan Peldo. Thank you guys.
How's it going, Chicago? Yes, I'm Kat. I'm from Batavia. Yeah. Anytime I go out of town and tell people that, usually they have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. I used to tell people that it was by Aurora. The last time I did that, my mom was like, don't say that. Say it's by Naperville or something. I mean, I can understand that. Batavia doesn't have a whole lot going on. We do have the Aldi headquarters, though, which I've always wanted an interview with Aldi, not because I really want the job there. I just want the opportunity to be like, so, if I get this job, what kind of employee discount are we talking here? And do I get to use the cards for free? Yeah, I live at home, which is great. I live with my parents, which has taught me a lot about my life. Like, I'm not ready to have kids because I've found that when you have kids, you have to watch them like all the time. And I'm finding more and more that I have to watch my parents. Because my dad will pick up catchphrases. He went through a phase for a while where he liked to tell people that he was the shiznit. It's like, Dad, do you even know what that means? No. Well, then maybe we shouldn't say that, should we? We don't say things that we don't know what they mean. It's like, well, what does it mean? I'll tell you when you're younger. I live in a neighborhood full of little kids, which is probably where he got that joke, or that word. Little kids think that they can say anything that they want. This girl came up to me the other day and like, you must weigh like 100 pounds. Which I guess is a lot to her, but I was like, yep. Spread the word, little one. You think you're all bad just because you wear pull-ups? I got news for you. You're not a big kid. You're just shitting your pants a different way. Big kids, I know, don't crap themselves. If you want to make yourself feel better with little kids, though, play games with them, but win. Because you know that you can. The kiddies pace, don't let them win. Play rock, paper, scissors with little kids. I love that because every time that you tie, they think that you start over. Like, no, big rock beats little rock. Fuck you. I live with my parents, as I said. My mom just joined Facebook. That's great. I'm not friends with her on Facebook, so she keeps popping up in my suggestion corner, because we have 7 friends in common. So she keeps popping up, Facebook keeps saying, would you like to be friends with Mary Kay Rabarski? No, thank you, Facebook. You've been saying this all along, and I'm sick of it, okay? I don't want to be friends with my mom online. I've had enough. Stop suggesting her. But then I realized that this is also happening to her, and she's repeatedly rejecting me also. So I don't know when it became too cool for my mom to be friends with her own daughter, but whatever. And I mean, I see her enough as it is. I mean, she's always got something that she's complaining about. She's always worried about something. Lately, she's been worried about identity theft. I'm not worried about it at all, because identity theft really only sucks if you have a good identity. I'm already in debt. I've got bills up to my ears. If you get the creditors to start calling your house, she'd cut you a check. It'd probably bounce anyway. So we've got Thanksgiving coming up. Who's excited for Thanksgiving? Yeah, I love Thanksgiving, but there's some holidays that I just don't get, like Good Friday. Not a Good Friday for Jesus. Like on Jesus' calendar, it's pretty sure it says worst Friday ever. Would not want to relive this Friday. Like try going to Jesus with a bad day after that. Oh, Jesus, I'm having a really bad day. Really? Oh, you're having a bad day. Remember when I died? Remember that day? Remember that? I do have some bad days. I have a bad day every day that I have to go to work, pretty much. Because like there's always some douchebag in your office that's like offers his little side jobs to you. I've got this guy in my office who thinks he's really good at giving back massages. He's like, oh, if you ever need a back rub, come to Cube 6. I'm really good at giving back rubs. I get compliments all the time. Oh, you get compliments all the time? Like, that's your credibility? Let me try using that in my life. Like, when you go to apply for a job, and, oh, as you can see from my resume, I am very good at skibbit. I get compliments all the time. It doesn't work that way. And they always say stupid shit to you in the office, like, I had a guy come up to me the other day, like, yeah, you smell good. You smell like sausage. Thank you. It's this new fragrance I've been trying, Jimmy Dean. Or I've been trying to lose weight lately. People compliment you in weird ways when you lose weight. Like, oh yeah, I can see you losing weight. You can really see it in your shoulders. In your shoulders? Really? Thank you. Because my fat shoulders have always been a big problem area for me. I'm really working on that. Appreciate it. I guess I shouldn't really complain about my job too much, though. I've had shitty jobs before. I've worked customer service for 6 years. If you've never worked for customer service, you should know that people complain a lot. And this guy come up to me, this lady come up one time, and she was like, "This vacuum sucks." Well, that's kind of the point, ma'am. Then she thinks you're confident attitude, and you gotta call over your manager, and she's got the drawn-on eyebrows. So she already looks angry. Probably only because it rained that morning. I just don't get that. How bad are your eyebrows that you're like, let's start over with Fran? I don't get it. It's like when somebody asks you for a piece of gum and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I only have one piece left. That's all I wanted, asshole. Hand it over. There's a lot of jobs that I wanted when I was a kid. I wanted to be a mannequin. I'd go shopping with my mom in the stores, but I would just strike a pose in the window and just hold it. And people would walk by and point, and I'd be like, man, I'm good. Could totally make a career out of this. I could totally rock the mannequin industry. Can you imagine actually applying for that job? Like when you're in the store and like, hey, are you hiring right now? Yes we are. What position are you applying for? Do you have any openings for mannequins? Don't worry, I'm good. I've been practicing. I get compliments all the time. There's a lot of jobs I wanted to have. I wanted to be on a game show, which isn't really a job, but I really wanted to be on like any of the shows, really. But none of the shows now. A lot of the shows now are just stupid. Like that Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader show? Why do people go on this? There's no way to look good. Even if you win, you're smarter than a fifth grader. Still no bragging rights. You come home from the show like, yeah, see me on that fifth grader show? Rocked it. Third grader was all like, what? And I was like, Tallahassee, bitch. Third grader's got nothing on me. I wanted to be a fire person, fireman, a firewoman, whatever. When I was a kid, and I just think that they need some strict screening though. Like, I was driving past the fire station the other day, and there was a sign that said, "Please make sure your address is visible from the street." If your house is on fire, that would be enough of a sign for me. Like, who's driving by there? Like, is that a 723 or 725, Bob? I can't tell between the smoldering ash or the burning flames. Perhaps we should call the neighbors and find out where we need to go. But there's always something you're gonna hate about your job. Right now I have the automatic flush toilets is what I hate about my job. I wanna know who invented that. Who's sitting there like, oh man, fuck this. It'd be so much easier if it just flushed itself. Because the second that you're even hovering over it, you get this geyser erupting up your ass. Then you get splashed about 3 more times before the one time that you actually wanted to flush, and you're waving your hands like a fucking air traffic controller in front of the red blinking dot that you assume is supposed to be some kind of motion sensor, only to find out that the one purpose it's actually supposed to serve does not properly function, leaving you with the only option to push the manual flush in the end. And then they have the nerve to put up that 1-800 number. If you are not fully satisfied with this product, please call. So I did. And I was like, you know what? Your toilet sucks. It's like, well, that's kind of the point, ma'am. All right, I'm Cameron Barsky. I'm going to bring you back to your host. Enjoy your night.
One more time for Cameron Barsky. And I know about that automatic toilet, but I never have that problem because I got a good sensor motion, you know what I'm saying? All right, we're going to keep it going. We have our third competitor coming to the stage because I know everybody drunk and do all that good stuff. So I want you to put your hands together for Mr. Chris Maxucker.
Hi everyone. Just got back from Vegas. I think Vegas is the only place in the world that you can commit every sin in 24 hours and still see a great show. I love gambling, and people ask me, how'd you do? How'd you do? Let me put it this way. If I win this competition tonight, I'll be up $5. I love video games. I used to love the old Nintendo. Remember that? It was great. I never actually owned one. I used to go to my friend's house and watch them play. Yeah, some of them are here laughing right now. I was like, don't you have any two-player games? I think they had those. But it was great. It was so simple and fun. There was like 2 buttons, an A button and a B button. A would be to pitch, B would be to hit. Now you look at controllers these days, they got multiple sets of joysticks, memory cards, buttons all the way up to X, Y, and Z. I mean, you have to play with your feet if you want to beat anybody. The games are so complicated too. I mean, the hardest Nintendo move was up, down, left, right, BA. That's just the way you jump. Everyone likes a new Wii. I know, it's a little easier, but that's not what video games are about. They're about being lazy, letting the people on the screen do all the work. With the Wii, you have to get off the couch and go like this. It's a workout. Not to mention the fact that my 4-year-old nephew is beating me in tennis. I'm like, whoa, why don't you get that controller off your little wrist? Why don't we get the real rackets and see if you can get an ace now? I played a lot of video games in college. I also ate a lot of ramen noodles. I can't do it anymore. I graduated and moved on to Hot Pockets. I love Hot Pockets. But have you ever read the instruction on the box just once? It says to microwave for 3 minutes. 3. I would love to go to the headquarters of Hot Pockets, microwave one for 3 minutes, serve it to the CEO and be like, is the melted cheese burning inside of your mouth? I think you need a new microwave timer. I know someone right for the job. Correct time is 2 minutes, 7 seconds. Might be a little cold, but you'll thank me later. You guys enjoying the show so far? Got a question for you. What is the greatest, I'm picking on the front row, don't worry. What is the greatest invention of all time?
The wheel.
Not bad. Anybody else?
Viagra.
Viagra. Very nice. I'll see you after the show. Fran. Those are great. I'm sure they've done a lot for society. But I think the greatest invention of all time is the guy that invented that arcade game with the claw. You know, the one that goes like this. Yeah, that machine's just printing money. And the best part is you never have to restock it. The guy that invented that machine is the same guy you see on the Forbes billionaire list, and you're like, who's that guy? I've never heard of him. Yeah, because he's on some island somewhere watching us through secret cameras as we go, oh, I was so close. Let me borrow another $1. I know exactly what it is. Why are we fascinated with this game? What are we trying to prove? What skill? As if we're going to be walking down the street, we're going to hear, help, help, my baby fell in a manhole. Hold on, lady, I know how to use this construction crane, and I'll get him right out. We're always being scammed, Businesses aren't even afraid to put them on the package. They'll say, extra sensitive condoms. There's no such thing as extra sensitive condoms. What is it, thinner latex? If your condoms are truly extra sensitive, then you probably have herpes. And congratulations, you're now a father. Or triplets. They have herpes. True story. No, speaking of true story, I went to McDonald's the other day. It cost me $101. Yeah, $1 for the cheeseburger and $100 for that photo ticket I got on the way there. Sounds like I'm not the only one. Have any of you guys gotten that photo ticket?
Yeah.
Yeah, $100. I used to love opening the mail, and now it's like, once upon a time, Chris Masaga's committed a crime. And they had like 14 photos. This is you before you committed the crime. This is you while you're committing the crime. This is you after you committed the crime. I swear, if I ever became a superhero, that would be the first place I'd attack. Yeah, everyone everywhere would be like, thank you, 414 stoplight man, for setting another traffic light free to the people. Except I wouldn't destroy the cameras. I'd take them and I'd move them to accident scenes and issue tickets for anyone that stops and looks. Yeah, you'd be driving along, you'd be like, what's that? Oh, damn it. $100, just a fender bender. Why is the whenever I'm on the couch with my girlfriend, she always has to have some part of her body touching me at all times. Never in the right spots, too. So it's like hair in my face, or making some part of my leg fall asleep. I understand I'm watching a romantic movie, but now I'm watching infomercials about someone decided to put sleeves in a blanket. Warm snuggie. You know, I don't know much about this life, but the one thing I'm convinced of is men and women were never meant to share covers, blankets, or sheets. Yeah, I said it. It always starts off all equal, everyone's got their equal share. The next thing you know, it starts coming across you like this. You're like, hey, what's going on? You know what some of my girlfriend's good at besides stealing the covers and sheets? Driving directions. You know, so is my GPS too. The only difference is my GPS doesn't say things like, great, now we're gonna be late. Don't drive on the shoulder. What's that smell? Speaking of gas, I think you could tell a lot about the different stages of dating by examining the couple's gas. You've all been there. At first you're holding in your farts, trying to convince the other person, farting, what's that? That's dating. Then after a few rounds of, oh no, you fart first. No, you fart first. Someone accidentally lets one go. Now it means you're in an exclusive relationship. Then a month of farting like it's nobody's business. The man gets the idea to give the woman a Dutch oven. So you fart in the covers and you put it over her face. It's a great idea we all come up with. At this point, you might as well get engaged, because the romance is now officially over. Do we have any fishermen in the crowd? Anyone enjoy fishing?
Yeah.
There's one. What's the biggest fish you caught and how big was it? How big was it?
It was like 10
10 inches.
feet.
10 feet? I think when you ask a man how big the fish he caught, it's a lot like asking him how big his dick is. He's always like, this big. This man, apparently 10 feet. Bad. I used to like fishing when I was growing up, not until I realized how cruel it was. I mean, picture this, you're walking down the street, and you see this hot dog bouncing along, you're like, hot dog. And as you bite into it, not only is it plastic, but a metal hook lodges into your mouth, hopefully your mouth, starts dragging you down the street to a nearby pond. And as it sucks you into the pond, you're drowning to death, you have to listen to two fish go, ew, I don't want to touch it, you touch it. I don't want to touch it, it's all dry. Should we throw it back on land? No, why don't you beat it with a stick a few hundred times? That's what fishing's all about. I like traveling, seeing new places, going, going all over the place. It's great. Every part of it's great, but you know what surprises me? People are still complaining about the flight. It always starts off the same way. How was the flight? Oh, it was horrible. Got stuck on the runway for 30 minutes. I had this 2-hour layover in Pittsburgh. It was terrible. Yeah, but you're flying. I mean, 100 years ago, you would have been in a horse and carriage. That would have taken 3 months. You'd be worried about your axle breaking. You'd be hunting for buffalo. And your little sister would die of typhoid fever. 100 years from now, it'll be the same question. How was your teleporting? Oh, it was horrible. I got stuck in that machine for 30 seconds. I had a 2-minute layover in Pittsburgh. But I'm here now, and that's what's important. My parents called me up the other day. They're actually in the audience right now. Yeah. Oh, don't applaud. They wanted me to come over and help them fix a TV DVD stereo setup. I'm like, oh, so you want me to come over and talk to tech support for 2 hours? Apparently I'm the best Hindi speaker in the family. I can't figure that out, with the TV and stuff. It used to be go to someone's house, you pick up the remote control, you were ready to go. Now you go over to someone's house, you pick up the remote control, like, oh, don't touch that. That one's just for the volume, let me do it. I'm gonna mess it up. They love the 10 o'clock news and they love the Weatherman, they're always obsessed with that. But I can't stand the Weatherman. You know why? Because he's always up there wasting our time, showing us all these graphs we don't understand. He tells us things like what the wind and dew point are, as if any of us here plan our day around those numbers. He even has the nerve to tell us what the weather was that day. I mean, either we're around, in which case we know, or we missed it, in which case we don't care. Weatherman, stick to predicting the future. Nobody's impressed that you know what the weather was this morning. Thank you guys very much. My name is Chris Massage.
One more time for Chris Matsake! Ooh, took your head a little low there. Don't say that, you dolly boy. All right, now you can come out. Give it up a hard day about your competitors tonight. to win. It's not about who is the funniest. It's about who invited the most people. It's the American way. Christmas Suckers. And the producers of the Jack in the Box are going to be coming around, taking up your ballots right now. So if you're finished, just lift them up in the air. Wave them in the air, wave them around like they're just don't care. All right. Here you go, baby. I took up some on the side.
Maybe and Phil. Axe the first two.
Okay. I'm sure you already know. Let's hurry it up. Hurry it up. Can't be tardy for the party. Did we find Chris? He's in the bathroom. This is transitional epidemic tissue has stretched to the max. There he is! Give me up for Christmas! Dude, what were you doing? Did you wash your hands? Good. Don't touch them. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, one of these competitors will be walking away tonight with $250. Hey, don't look at me. 500. I think you get 200 today and 250 when the child support check comes, okay? All right, you can go in the back. Thank you very much, competitors. Good job! Good job! Good job! They give the same material every week. Good job! How many of you have been with us every Sunday? Every Sunday. Give it up for these wonderful people. Give it up. You think that I know that Beyonce dance? No, you come out here and teach me. Come on, girl. You got the little kids. It goes like this. Oh, who said that? All right. Cut it out. Because you don't like what I got. Cut it out. Oh, well, come show me what you got there. Who said that? I like a white man to talk dirty to me. Oh, that was the brother. Oh, okay. Be quiet. All right, we got another comedian that's going to come up.
That's what that would be like. You guys ever been in love? By round of applause. Yeah, I've been in love. I was in love with this girl in high school. We were best friends, but she never liked me like that. Broke my heart. I say that I'm over it now, but I still have that dream. You guys know the dream. It's her wedding day. She and her fiancé are at the altar. She's looking really beautiful. She's about to say I do, but before she can, I burst in through the church doors and I say, Claire, wait! And she looks at me, and I look at her, and we make eye contact. We share a moment. And then I smile really big. And then I blow my brains out. You guys have that? Because the wedding would be ruined. It would be great. That's the best possible. I get to ruin her wedding, but I'm dead, so I don't have to deal with any consequences. That's awesome. Like, whoa, what are the consequences? I go to hell? Even if I went to hell, I think the devil would be like, dude, that was fucked up. You're cool. You just hang out, read a book. We're not going to torture you. We have the new Dan Brown in. Do you like Dan Brown? And then I'd be like, oh, you know me too well, Mr. Devil.
Christ. I'm gonna leave you guys forever with this. I was riding on an elevated train the other night. It was a Crimson Line elevated train. And there was this group of rowdy college gentlemen. They're making...
And this is one of the funniest men to ever come out of Chicago. Her time out there, my competitors. Make some noise! All right. The first annual Jack in the Box comedy competition. Gotta try to hide this. Where are the little men in muscles to deliver this to me? All right, coming in third place, but we know that we're only giving money to the first place winner. But we do want to acknowledge our third place winner. For 4 weeks, this comedian has lasted through all the bush and all that good stuff. Joe is a wild man. Put your hands together for our third place, Miss Kat Roberski. What? Oh, y'all want me to get to the winner? All right. Only one vote separated them. Put your hands together for the winner. I can do the stripper shake on this. Put your hands together for the winner of the first annual Jack in the Box comedy competition, Mr. Ethan Pelton. Let's get the producers to come down. Ethan.